And we're live!
Hey! Hello, everyone! Welcome to our live stream where we have Felix and we got Gothi's player doing some art today. Yay! We're also doing a Q&A. Everything's pretty chill. So, also, we're going to be probably talking about episode 23. Maybe, I don't know. Look, I don't know where my brain will go tonight. So, we'll see, but I'm just saying spoilers maybe. I don't know. I hope you guys are all doing good. Yeah. So, say hello, everyone.
Hey, howdy do. It's me, yo boy.
That's me, yo boy.
And this time I got slow mode enabled, so I'll actually be able to catch all the questions.
Hey, good. We also got Cammy Cat in there, I think.
Yeah, I think
with
hanging out in the chat somewhere, doing a bit of moderating for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Dark Strider pointing out we've sold 1,200 Tarasques.
Yeah, we got Gothi.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm drawing. I have a little bit of the sniffles tonight, so I might be sounding a little bit less, I don't know, clear.
Sound a bit sniffly.
A little sniffly.
It's gonna be the opposite of an ASMR, because you might hear me like sniffle.
Oh, speaking of ASMR, I forgot to cue the chill music, and there we go.
See, I've been listening to it, so I didn't even notice. Yeah. Also, thank you for doing the art, because I've been really tired.
Well, yeah, because you just finished putting out a video, so.
Yeah.
I know you tend to just hibernate for a while after that.
Yeah, I've been just like chilling in my house without any guilt and doing nothing.
Jealous.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I'm jealous. I'm gonna be doing nothing.
Well, maybe tomorrow you can do nothing.
Yeah.
Hibernate. Play some Animal Crossing.
Oh, that's totally what I'm gonna do all day tomorrow. Just
Yeah.
gonna play Animal Crossing.
With the new update.
Yes.
I still have to download it. But I will get it.
And I haven't played Animal Crossing in so long now.
Yeah.
The update's really good because I think it does for Animal Crossing what like Animal Crossing was supposed to be, which is just there's enough for you to like turn it on, play it for an hour, and then kind of do like a little to-do list of things to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna go check the shop, I'm gonna go to the cafe, and then I'm good and I can go about the rest of my day. Before, like when the game launched, I don't think there was enough content to actually do that, at least not for me.
Yeah.
But now there's enough that I feel like I can just play it for a bit and then be happy with it.
Yeah, now it consumes you.
Yeah, no, because I'm also like obsessive like that. So I'm just like, shiny new thing? I will touch nothing else.
They got a bird in here now? Damn!
Oh, it's a pigeon. He serves me coffee?
Yes, thank you. So anyway, we wanted to do like a fun Q&A so people can ask questions in the chat. We were mostly looking for like, you know, things for the Kickstarter, so people have questions about the Kickstarter, which Gothi does do the lead art in it. And you can see all our art with like the minis and like some items. Well, I think almost all the items. So right now, yeah.
Ask us your fool's gold questions.
And if you got any questions about the art or some of the beasties and monsters and stuff, like
because this is a really good opportunity to talk to Gothi about it.
Yeah, also that you did design the Tarrasque.
I did. Yeah, that was all me. Well, I mean, not the number side of it. The number side of it was all Felix. But as far as giving that boy a new coat of paint, I'm your druid.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely got the Monster Hunter vibes in there and the Bowser stuff that you were talking about.
The good Bowser stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That was a lot of fun because it was like, all right, well, we got to make a Tarrasque and we got to make sure it's new and recognizable and like different from the OG Tarrasques. And then also like from my point of view, I'm like, well, I want this to be like also like a special Tarrasque, like for us, because it's, you know,
Mhm.
how often do you get to do this? Probably never. So it was like I purposefully injected some of that like stuff that we love into that Tarrasque, so that whenever we look at it, we're just like, yeah, like totally made like, you know, from my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put in all that, all the stuff we just love and just shoved it in one big boy that would kill you without question.
That's the fun thing about getting to do art when your best friends are your bosses, is you just get to make design choices only because you know your friends are gonna like it. Like there's several things where I just like I made this design choice only because I know that Dingo would like it, or because Felix would get the reference or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You just like, or I guess intentionally like manipulate our decisions.
Completely
in that way.
intentionally, completely
Yeah.
intentionally manipulated you.
Yeah, because you also like the same stuff usually what we like, so it's
Yes.
like, yeah.
Well,
So Felix, how's about those questions?
I mean, I've got tons and tons and tons of questions, but I'm wondering, should we tell people a little bit about what we're drawing today?
Oh yeah, sure.
Should we introduce our new boy?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess we should. So, I mean, I assume you introduced Rooster a bunch when you were drawing him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, for people who, I guess, weren't aware, we hit our stretch goal yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
For the Fool's Gold 2 Sans podcast. And this guy here is going to be the counterpart to Rooster, who he's going to be my character.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Core, and he is a demon, pending.
Yeah, demon.
Still trying to figure. Yeah.
He's a little bit more still in the kiln compared to Rooster.
Mm-hmm.
So this is sort of like his newest rendition until I get frustrated with it and change it all over again for the third time.
Yeah. But yeah, with Fool's Gold 2 confirmed, basically, the podcast, we're actually going to start doing a bit of the prep work now. I think we're starting to plan out characters and figuring out a few backstory pieces. And yeah, it's going to be good. And I mean, like we said, with their, since it was a stretch goal, we're actually going to, like, actually allocate a bit of budget towards this to make it a really nice production, so...
Yeah, maybe some new microphones or...
Yeah, we're gonna get some good quality mics for this.
I think we're even gonna get like an intro song.
An intro song,
Really?
professionally made,
Yeah.
probably by the same guys who have been doing the Fool's Gold soundtrack so far.
Yep.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
They've done such a great job. Everything that they've made has been a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, tons of stuff like that, get some good assets made, and it's gonna be awesome. And yeah,
Be sick.
but yeah, it's gonna be 2v1 for those who didn't hear that last time. So it is Core and Rooster. They're gonna be the two players versus, well, I mean, me as the DM
versus you.
Felix.
versus me.
Yeah,
See if
versus
we can
Felix.
survive.
See if
Yeah.
they can survive the Sans world that I have ready for them. Which,
Yeah, I'm excited. The dynamic, I think, is gonna be good.
yeah, hey, and by the way, I can confirm Fool's Gold Sans is still gonna be in the same world as Fool's Gold Into the Bellowing Wilds. It is gonna be in the same universe and the same world of Ambria. It's just gonna be on a different continent.
Yes. Different setting.
So, same overall world, I guess I can say.
Hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've got a few questions queued up. Let me just pull those.
Yep.
Does Fool's Gold have a Discord for fan art? We don't have our own Discord yet, question mark, I guess? I don't know if we'll ever really make one. But there is the Hit Point Press Discord that you can join via the Kickstarter page. And that's not a paid thing, like anybody can join it. And there is a Fool's Gold section within it where you can totally post up your fan art, and we do check it. But otherwise, if you honestly just tweet it at Dingo, that's like the best way to send it.
Yeah, if you're, it's much better with like Twitter or Tumblr. Also, Instagram people tag me and show me fan art there too. So, which I save each piece, like just so people know, if I don't comment, but I like it, it means that I saw it and it's definitely in a folder somewhere on my computer. I saved it just for me. I have so many pictures now. Like, I think I checked and I had like 300 or 400 pictures or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Jeez, that's a lot of love.
That is a lot of love. Yeah.
It's a lot of love. It's great.
Oh god, speaking of a lot of love, my chat is being overwhelmed by hearts right now.
Aw,
Oh,
we love you too, chat.
Yeah. Oh, it's because Dreaded is raiding.
Oh, for the on
Hello.
Twitch.
Dead Aussie.
Oh, Dread
Dead
Aussie.
Aussie.
Hello, guys.
much love.
Yay.
But let's get to some questions.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's Tales of Pesh. They're the ones raiding us. Sorry, I should have read that properly. My bad. E.
You called out like 3 other streamers prior.
Well, they're also there, but still.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so here's the first question, and this is a question for Gothi. And we kind of touched on it earlier, but how did you come up with the design for the Trask? We're going to talk about your process a bit.
So, okay. So, I mean, step 1 was basically just like to look at OG Tarasks and from other different versions and figure out like what we liked best and what was a consistent thing that they all had and like what things did we think we could throw away or improve on. I know that I worked with you, Felix, specifically like going through some of the different versions and figuring out which ones we liked. And then after that, it was figuring out, all right, well, how do we improve upon it and how do we turn it into like a dire Tarask?
Yeah.
And the one thing that we picked out on that was like, well, that tail right there, because the OG Tarask is like, it's just a whip tail, right?
Yeah, it's just a whippy little thin thing.
Yeah. So I mean, like you and I looked at that and we just went like, well, that's for real estate right there. Like that's just we can improve that. We play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
So we decided to give it like a big battering ram tail. And I mean, like I must have made like 30 different tasks, like quick renders, like quick, what would you call them? Like remember? Yeah, like quick concepts of them, just like literally copy and pasting different features back and forth until we found one that we liked.
Yeah.
So like there was even different renditions to the tail. And then after that, it was like I said, I just like found ways to inject whatever it is we liked best into it, which meant like making it look a little bit like Bowser and making it look a little bit like a Nergigante. And I think there's a bit of a maybe some Anjanath in there too. Like Rathian is what our Rathalos, like a lot of Monster Hunter in that one.
Yeah, it turned out sick. And I mean, the big thing I remember us talking about was just like, we wanted to, the one thing about the OG Trask that we were just like, don't like their stupid little eyes. It's just like,
Yeah,
we were just like,
irate about
beady
the
little
tiny
eyes.
Tiny eyes.
Yeah, the like beady little eyes, and I was like, we need to change. Like we all agree that it was like we need to change that, make it more monstrous.
Yeah.
And we also added like a little bit of I mean Felix. No one should be surprised. He turned up the Tarask. Like he took the OG Tarask and he said, "Nah, we're gonna ramp this baby to like 12." So. He gave it a whole bunch of extra abilities, and then we also made sure that those abilities were reflected in some of its designs.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I really like
the World Destroyer, and it had to reflect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to look like the last thing you're ever gonna see.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite thing about the
No, nothing. I was just saying I'm really happy with the design, but you go on.
I'm glad you're happy. I was just gonna say my favorite thing about it is I think it's got it's because it looks so gnarly. It looks like it's just it looks been around for so long and been unstoppable the entire time that it's just started to like kind of get misshapen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, another
been around.
thing that it totally has in it is it has some Digimon in it.
Oh, which one?
Felix and I were just like looking at Digimon the other day. So like, Digimon definitely has those really gnarly teeth. And I remember Bergermon specifically has like those top teeth that just like they just stick out like nearly horizontally in some cases.
Mm.
And I think that was like really gnarly. I put that in there. I remember thinking about how gnarly that looked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, teeth are rad.
I remember today somebody commenting on the Tarask saying, you know, the existence of spines on the Tarask's back implies that there's a predator that hunts Tarasks.
Oh gosh, you're right.
I was like,
All right, Felix, what's up?
Yeah, what is it now? Yeah, Felix has
Cracks
to make
knuckles.
something bigger.
Well, I mean, I've got
said
something
that?
bigger.
Yeah.
I've got like legit creatures I can use right now to prey on Tarasks, but the world is not ready for that.
Yeah, you should yeah, I guess you'll expand on that later on. But anyway,
Some ideas.
yeah, I can't give him ideas. Anyway, next question.
Yeah, next question. Let's see. I'm just going through my queue. Since I asked Dingo and Felix last time, I gotta ask Bees, are you a dragon or a dinosaur type person?
I'm a dinosaur type person.
Can confirm.
Extremely dinosaur person. I mean, if you look at Tarask and almost any of the creatures from the campaign that I had at hand, yeah, there's a dinosaur in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, you're so good at dinosaur facts.
Thank you.
Which
I
has
have
become so
too
useful.
many of them.
Well, it's become so useful because like my distillery is dinosaur themed, right? So it's just like, Gothi, tell me about this thing. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I remember you texting me like one day out of the blue. You're like, "Hey, are T-Rexes from like Alberta?" And I'm like, "Of course they are. Like, hell yeah, that's like one of their main zones." And you're like, "Thank you."
Yeah, it's like thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a question. This one's for me. Hey Felix, how do you do character backstories? Do you require anything from your players or make edits after they give it to you? You know, eventually I gotta make a proper video just talking about this specific topic because there's so much to say. But I leave it
Do
up to
it,
the players.
lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Huh. I leave it up to the players. If they can come at me with as much story as they want or as little as they want. I mean, you know, Gothi was literally just like, I am old lady. I forget where I'm from. I have no face, but I have dog. Here's backstory, and that's it. So I'm just like, all right, sure. And then you know, I turned Gothi into Gothi, which
Yes.
There is actually a second question here, which leads really well into that. It's just asking Gothi, how'd you feel about what I did to you, your character, as in that reveal?
At first, it was very shocking. So shocking, in fact, that I think I texted you afterwards, being like, "Hey, could I like maybe like veto it if I really decide I don't like the idea?" Because it was like, I mean, it totally changed the way Gothi was going to be played from then on.
Mhm.
But other than that, I loved it because it just gave me the chance to like, you know, to change it up. And I think you just knew more about me than I did at the moment when you decided to do that. Because like, because I think you knew I needed a bit of a change for her in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like the right move for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have really like ever messed with that. And I'm glad you eventually you really dug it. Like after you thought about it.
Yeah, I think it took me like an evening for me to go, no, okay, I think I'm good. I'm cool with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was also like the first time someone really like, you know, kind of reached into one of your creations and then changed it, right?
Yes,
Which,
yes,
of course,
literally that.
For anybody, his first reaction is just like, huh, no, mine, no touch.
Yeah, don't touch my kid. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's funny that the person asked you about character backgrounds, and you talked about Gothi, is that I really don't like giving my characters a huge fleshed out background before we play D&D. Like Gothi is my I've had 2 other characters after Gothi, and neither one of them have had an extremely ironclad background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I do the same.
Same with Dingo. Yeah, exactly. Like you're like, nope, minimal stuff. Here's a couple things I want in this backstory, and hey, the rest is up to you. And I mean,
yeah,
I've kind of.
I mostly.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I mostly find it more interesting because I'm lazy, but also
You son of a bitch.
also I like to create the backstory as I go, because the world itself is gonna kind of create the backstory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason that I kind of let my character be neutral when I start is because I kind of let the character figure themselves out. And I've definitely had a lot where, like when I'm playing Bree, like my other character I play, she'll get upset about something, and I'm like, why the fuck are you upset? And then I have to like dig deep, and there's actual like answers there of being like, oh, it's a backstory thing because she felt, you know, like she's very self-conscious or something like that. But I never really thought about that until like something happens where a character kind of throws me off and goes like, why did you react like that? Like, why did this character decide to do that? Oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. And also, I find that when I don't have a full backstory, it opens up to having conversations with like players that will create scenarios and be like, wouldn't it be funny if they did this, or like they had this? Like some things that were created from SIPs, which I'm not going to talk about, were just conversations at the table that we were having, where we would just be like, like what was his past like for X, Y, and Z? And then I had to think about it and be like, oh, that totally would have happened, or something like that. And that's how his backstory was made, of us just kind of like fucking around and being like, yeah, your character totally would have done that, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you're totally right. And then it just kind of builds and builds and builds and builds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we really tend to not. We never do like stop talking about D&D ever, like ever. So a lot of that stuff just also happens off of the table when we're just like walking from here to there. We're chatting about, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool if a character was like this, or maybe I think, or one of us was like, yeah, I think maybe this would be something that Gothi would do, and then it's a very collaborative process.
Definitely. Yep. And the collaboration makes things in general just a lot more awesome. It's like the Tarask, right? I made the numbers, you did the concepts, then the modeler came and put his touches on it. And in the end, that magnificent beast is what we're left with.
Yeah, props to the modeler, Thomas. I can't remember his last name. First name Thomas.
Remember. But he's credited. If you check, you'll see it's Thomas something, and the poor guy, he had so much fun with the Tarask, but he was also so tired after he finished it because he had like a pretty tight deadline with it. So he just signed his email like a very happy but tired Thomas.
He got a very good break.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's been really great because I've never spoken to him like through email or otherwise, but seeing some of the stuff he comes back to with like his little improvisation. Thank you. His improvisations, models, or little things he's edited in. I'm just like, oh yeah, we totally would be on the same page.
Yeah, and you can tell he's just his modeling. There's personality in it. You can just tell. It's like, yes. we get along just fine. Oh man, someone in chat calling me gutsy DM. You have no idea.
Feels the consequence DM.
DM. Yeah.
Yes.
But another thing about.
Oh no, you go.
Sorry, I was gonna make one final point. Is like we also tend to leave our character backstories open because we just trust Felix, and we just know if we let him have fun in the kitchen, he's gonna come back with something really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I try, but it's yeah, it's nice.
Next question.
Hang on. I just got to reply to someone here. That's cool. Bam. Cool. Can you give details on the Thistle Wolf? I'm desperate to know more about these prickly puppies. What?
Can we? Prickle puppies.
Prickle puppies.
Prickly puppies. Oh, that's so cute.
What if the puppies are just called prickles?
What if they're just tumbleweeds, like little like
tumbleweeds?
they're just like, okay, so a thistle, you know, they're like they got they're round and they got the like all the spikes. It's just like something with little legs and it just keeps like rolling. Or they just attach the puppies to their back because they have to hold onto them. Oh my god! Somebody draw that!
Somebody get on that.
Depending on how quickly I finish this, maybe you'll get to see some concept in action.
Oh, he's so cute.
Prickle puppies, I love it.
What can we even say about them? I think that is that one under lock and key.
Well, I have the key, and I decide the locks. So
That's true. You get to determine what happens.
I don't mind talking a little bit about them, but let's talk about Thistle Wolf. They are actually not a they're not a monster as you think of like a God, what's it called? They're plant type creatures. What I'm trying to say. They don't have a heartbeat. They don't have like a nervous system or anything like that. They're actually a plant, but a plant that
they're
actually,
a dog-shaped plant.
Yeah,
a dog-shaped plant. Yeah.
But they actually, you know, they run around and fuck shit up. And they do hunt in packs as well. They communicate via pheromones, kind of like a hive mind. So they're actually extremely well coordinated, maybe even better than wolves. And they don't really like bite and like tear and scratch you apart. They just kind of try to like pin you, envelop you, and digest you.
Oh, fun.
Very. They also have a very bitey mouth and very whippy, thistly tails. Multiple tails that they can use like a whip.
Kind of like displacer beasts.
Little bit like displacer beasts. And you know, you might just be walking through the jungle on a peaceful morning. When suddenly,
actually in the Bellerin Wilds.
Yeah, exactly. When suddenly, you know, 4 vines will latch onto your leg and kind of tear into your flesh, rip you down into the bushes, and you'll never see him again.
There goes Thomas.
There goes Thomas.
Poor Thomas. Only 2 days from retirement.
Only 2 days. Okay. Started working down my list. I'm trying to be more organized this time. I've got like a little list that I'm working down, trying to keep track of everybody's questions. So thank you everybody for like writing the big bold like question in front of it. That helps me find them. But here's another question asking. This is, you know, I'm gonna try to get people's names. King of the Flounders. How extreme are we talking for the wild magic charts? What is one of the more crazy or just weird options? Oh, we talking crazy.
Talking very crazy.
Yeah.
We do not half-ass things in this book.
No. One of the more crazy effects.
Well, I don't think we do anything that's like like unfair, where it ruins the entire game.
No.
We made sure that it wasn't like, and the world explodes.
No.
All right, roll for another campaign.
Yeah, no. There's no crap
no
like
built-in
that.
EPKs. Yeah.
Like I want to cause chaos, right? I don't want to end campaigns. So these effects are very much like, you change the environment around you, or you reverse gravity for a while, or you swap everybody's souls in like a mile radius, right? Like
yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah,
the shuffling souls.
So it's those kinds of things. They're not necessarily game breaking, because again, I don't want like of just bullshit. Like go home, new character, bye. And it's like nah, I don't like that.
You can recreate all the things in the show though. I think.
Yes.
I think we made almost everything doable.
Well, and more, right? Because in the show, you show like only a tiny fraction of what's possible.
Yeah, and even because I don't even remember all of the wild magic we went through previously before the Trask. So there must have been some others, but obviously it wasn't crazy enough for me to remember.
Yeah. But there's literally hundreds like multiple hundreds of
Yeah.
effects. There's a lot. So
Why? Well, I was gonna say it's wild. It
Dun, dun,
literally is
dun.
wild, and it definitely destroys the other chart that was provided in vanilla. Like, just destroys it.
so. Yeah, good question.
Next question.
We know there's already a lot of 14 plus content. What do we need to get a play-by-play of the sheep? Well, you need to get the book. And then you can kind of, well, I guess what the party may have done. But are you ever gonna talk about the sheep?
Of course I am.
Yeah? When are you gonna talk
But
about
it's not gonna happen right now. There's too much shit happening. What? I'm just gonna be like, hold on, everyone. Just sit down, because I'm gonna stop this entire fucking flow of the story to talk about the sheep. No, I'm not gonna do that. So you're gonna have to wait. You have to wait for me to find the right moment to introduce that story, because it was just like, it just hasn't come up. It hasn't come up yet. So you guys will hear it, but patience. Next question.
Cool. The next question is, on the Kickstarter, what are the big difference between the Deluxe 4-Claimer box set and the new Soulstone collections? Sorry if it's a bad question. That's not a bad question. That's fine. So if you just, there's a listing of like each of the items that are included in it, but basically the Deluxe box set just has kind of like, you know, here are some of the top like deluxe pieces that are included in the set. While the Soulstone collection is pretty much like, here's everything. Like any add-ons that maybe weren't included, you know, like it includes every single like fan item, I think, and like more dice. So it's like twice the deluxe set, and I think it even includes both sets, or at least both books.
You have to check.
Yeah,
you have to check, because it's new. I haven't even read through it properly yet.
Yeah, if you go on the page, scroll down until you see the big purple crystal, there's a line-by-line listing of everything that's included. But
yeah, some people forget that like everything that's in the tiers is shown. You just have to scroll all the way down, and you will get to this section.
Yeah, and there's the one. So there's one confusing thing. So I will just quickly talk about it, and that is in that set, the all-in set, you're getting a discount on the Tarrasque Mini, which is not included in that. So the discount is included, but the Tarrasque Mini is not included. I think it's $20 off. But just to explain, that discount you can only apply after the campaign finishes. So you literally have to wait for the Kickstarter to end, then you can go purchase the Tarrasque at a discount. So I know it's a bit confusing, but I just wanted to mention.
I'm confused. You have to repeat that. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, so once the Kickstarter ends, and this is actually there was some people who asked about this as well. As soon as the Kickstarter ends, we're launching the backer kit. So you can still go there and like modify your pledges and add additional items and all those sorts of things.
Okay.
And when you go into backer kit, once the campaign has ended, the people who have purchased the all-in set, the Soulstone collection, those will have an automatic discount on the Tarrasque of $20. So, so that you get that big beefy boy for only $100. 100. That's it.
Wow.
Only $100 for that big boy.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, and
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the Soulstone bundle. Like they have it advertised there, where it's like it saves you $400 or something like that.
It's
something
it's more.
crazy.
It's like $460 off, and then the Tarrasque, so it's like $480, I guess, if you buy that one too. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it on my on my channel and make a little ad for it, but it's just like, oh, it's so wild. I don't know how they managed to do that, but
yeah,
I'd buy that, to be honest.
Here's a question. Oh shoot, I just lost it. No, where was it? Oh, this is a question by I don't have a name. Is the series coming to an end? Because them going to the portal, the 4-Claimer seems like a bit of the end of the campaign.
You're just gonna have to see.
You're just gonna have to see.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. You're gonna have to see how it all plays out and what happens. One episode at a time.
Yeah. Also, here's a question: will Sips's race be in the book?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. That's why
It's like a trick question.
It is a bit of a trick question. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think I asked you if you wanted to include like normal basic monkey. And make it like there's maybe stats for it that people could technically build. Like, cause when we made Sips, we used an ape out of the Beast manual or something like that. I don't remember what it was called. There's it's like Beasts and Species and something.
Bestial species or monster species?
I
There's
don't
a
know.
3.5 supplement where basically you can, it specifically lets you create anthropomorphic characters, and did that through the use of like templates and such in that book.
Yeah.
Which was official 3.5 material.
Yeah.
So his stats were based from that book, based on the ape.
Yeah. So I don't know if we wanted to make like our own.
Savage species. Thank you. Thank
Savage
you, Lycos.
species.
That is the one.
That's the one I keep forgetting. I'm always like, it's species or beasts. What the?
Savage
Yeah.
species. That is the
I
one.
gotta tattoo that or something. But yeah, I have been wondering about that. If we wanted to do some sort of like, you don't have to make it a race, but maybe just make it like here's a monkey.
Well, I mean, there's a certain race they could
Monkey.
use for that, right?
But it's not.
It's not the same, but it
No.
would do for the stats at least.
But I mean, Sips is also a very unique case because he had a fucking crystal in his head, so it's not like.
I don't know
he's
if
not-
you want
Yeah.
to like. I don't know if you want to make an entire race of Sipses because then that changes Sips' story. If there's like more
That's
Sipses
true.
running around,
Exactly.
there's more
Well-
monkey. There's like an entire monkey culture there. Then that totally changes.
Plus, remember,
Well,
he's technically awakened.
I was thinking of like because I was thinking like I'm not talking about like awakened monkeys. I'm just talking about normal ass monkeys, and yeah, I was just thinking about normal ass monkeys that we would make stats.
You can have
for.
them as a pet.
You can have the monkeys as a pet, but like, because I know a big thing that I wanted for this book is that I want people to be able to reverse engineer the characters and like be able to pick apart what they like and make them. So if somebody wanted to play a monkey, just a normal ass monkey, I don't know how we would do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Write it in your notes, Felix, and we can think about it, I guess.
Yeah, okay, one sec.
I'm regretting giving Core a chain whip weapon so hard right now.
Oh, I bet.
Good luck
All
with
the
that.
little chains. Yeah.
All the chain links. It's like,
Oh,
God, no. My arrogance. My hubris.
My hubris. Well, you should like then I would change it into one of those like oh god.
It could be like a coil. It could be like this. Like it could be like a coil, a cord. Like it's just like a metal
Yeah.
cord.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Like metal
That
cord
might be
with like
best.
yeah. Just because you'll be drawing this a million times.
That's very, very true. I don't want to do that to myself.
No, you need to make the decisions now and be like, okay, what can I recreate?
And also for anybody else that maybe wants to draw Core in the future, I don't want to
True.
do that to you.
I want to make those people suffer.
I don't need you to hate me. Look at that buff lad.
Oh, I like those muscles.
I know that they're gonna like people are gonna hate me for Rooster's hair because I have a trouble with Rooster's hair. And it's always the hair that gets me. Like Sips's hair,
Right.
Bree's hair. It's always been a pain in my ass. I'm just really bad at hair.
Also, I don't know if that's common knowledge or not. That the Bree and Crackers campaign, I'm the DM for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, unless you follow like me on Twitter, that might not be.
I've actually got your
No.
Twitter handle on screen. So if you guys want to follow Gothi on Twitter and check out all the Brie and Crackers art, it's on screen at the bottom left corner.
Hell yeah.
Here's a question for me. Okay. Felix, what do you prefer, character sheet or backstory first? Backstory. Because the backstory makes the character sheet. You know?
Are you talking about like when you so as a DM?
I'm assuming they're asking me as a DM. I would prefer the backstory first because the backstory shapes the character, the abilities. Because remember, character sheet represents what they can do, right? Are they stabby? Are they, I don't know, hidey, flighty? So if you get a nice backstory, you can then find out, oh yeah, you know, this kid may have like always been like hiding, therefore he became a rogue or something like that.
I literally had the first campaign I DM'd with just Felix. He wrote a line in his backstory that shaped the entire campaign.
What line was that?
It was something about like that he gained strength without understanding why, or something like.
Really?
When he, yeah, because remember I made your character into like a god, like an unknown god.
I remember that.
Based on strength, like yours was all strength and con, like you were a god of strength and con because of that line you wrote. So if you had wrote something that was like, yeah, and then he became very jumpy and he jumped really high, I'd be like, okay, well then you're a god of dex and I think wisdom. I think I paired them up. But yeah, I remember that. That was, and I blew your mind when I told you that, and you were like, "What? What?"
It's a good campaign.
Yeah.
Blew my mind many times in that campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some good questions coming in. I promise you, I'm trying to keep track of all these questions in my handy dandy document, and it is ballooning. So, thank you.
Then we rapid fire this shit.
But I apologize if it takes me a minute to get to you. Okay, here's a question, and now I'm starting to write down the names now. We've got to that part. The one Dr. Random Q. Was it difficult to create the setting of Fool's Gold, as well as keep the canon? I've made some worlds of my own, but struggle keeping the continuity. Why don't you start with this one, Dingo?
Are you talking to me as like the DM or the writer of the show? Do you think?
It's a bit of both, because essentially you and I both have canons to keep.
True, that's true. Yeah, because I did differentiate from the original canon just because it didn't flow like a story would. Because D&D is all over the place. Like anybody who's played D&D understands that like you don't go in a perfect arc. You don't. You can get pretty close though. Like Critical Role and the Adventure Zone and like, but you still have to like take into account that random shit happens and some continuity errors happen, where somebody forgets that NPC was actually called Jared, but now we're calling him Lewis, and it's just like fuck, it's just like you forget because you don't see each other for like a week, or so, longer for some. But when it comes to like the continuity and the like keeping a flow and world building rules and stuff, it can be difficult, especially if you don't catch things. If you do find that you are making a lot of plot holes, because your players tend to make those, it just happens. Start poking holes into your story. Well, their story too. It's okay, because you can always try to figure out how to add stuff to try to fix it, but nothing's perfect. At the end of that campaign, there will be continuity errors. There will be problems that you can solve if you want to go back and like make it into a setting, or if you want to retell it like what I'm doing. But I don't think it's as big of a deal as people think. It's gonna happen.
I certainly think it's not a big deal when you're sitting around the table with your players and you as the DM say, hey, I noticed that there's a plot hole in the story, and I'm just bringing it to your attention that I know it and you know it, and we can retcon some stuff, or we just agree not to address it, that it's there.
Or we fix it all together. Like, we've had that a couple times where we were just like, why don't we workshop it together? And we try to figure out how this actually could work. And then we sometimes do come up with some really cool solutions and go like, oh shit, totally, that would work because of X, Y, and Z. And like, well, you could change this because of this. And like, or you just we've definitely had it where we've sat around the table and just like fixed things together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, because it's like it's collaborative improv effort, and I don't really understand why you wouldn't just kind of put, be like, okay, cards on the table. This I messed up with this, and I'm just telling you. Like DMs are not, maybe except for like Matt Mercer, we are not godlike.
We're not perfect beings.
We're not perfect beings.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like not to go into like too much detail, I had like a session with you two for my campaign, and we had like a scene, and we got to the end of the scene, and we all looked at each other and we went, "Nah, that sucked." Like mulligan, and because like it just you can just change stuff.
Yeah,
and
you can
and when it comes to like translating it into a bigger piece of media, like you're doing Dingo, it's like, well, yeah, just retcon whatever you need to retcon, and also you get to see things from a different perspective, by having hindsight 2020 and knowing what needs to work, what needs to fit in situations in order to make them work.
Yeah, exactly. Felix?
Yeah?
What would you say about it?
You know what?
Or-
I've been so busy reading these questions, I totally checked out of the conversation.
No, it's fine, because I'm pretty sure you'd say the same stuff, to be honest. I think we kind of answered it.
I mean, totally. I was listening. Yes, I agree to everything you just said.
Also, I do want to point out that this is off topic, but Core's weapon, I'm so excited about it because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my god, you could just like yeet Rooster so hard with that. Like
I like how you immediately picked the most chaotic option.
Instantly.
I was just like, that would be so cool. It's like, toss me, do it, toss me.
So like, how tall is Rooster?
He says he's 5 feet tall.
Yes, that old.
But he's 4'8", I think. So. But he always says it's 5.
Okay. Core is definitely probably like Core is going to be at least 7 foot tall. So
Yeah.
he's going to be hucking that kid a lot.
That boy. Hug that boy.
That boy.
Toss that boy.
Toss that boy. I'm so excited for it. Anyway, sorry, off topic, but next question.
Yeah. Chemicat is saying she might be able to like set questions aside. Unfortunately, the doc I'm working on isn't online. I wonder if you can send them to me on Twitter. But
I think it's
you know what?
okay.
I've got a pretty queue right now. Maybe we'll do that for next time, though. Maybe.
Yeah, this time we'll just kind of do the way we are with just we're deep into it. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's rush through some more questions. So for that, I'm going to stop writing them down for just a minute while we answer some of these. But Kenny Holmes was asking, what happened to Stella as a celestial object when there was a light in the sky but got ripped down? Did it just get utterly removed from existence, or did it just get turned into a stellar remnant? So that's actually, I'm not going to fully reveal that, because that's some pretty deep lore, and it's very important to not just the Fool's Gold, like this current series from Dingo Doodles, but it's also important in the book. But it's not up there anymore. It's no longer a sun up there, and actually it's not really a sun in the way you think it is a sun. There's more to it, right? Because Stella is a goddess. It's not just a sun, it's a goddess. So I'll mention that there's the full lore of it in the book, which does mention about, like, what was the time afterwards like? Like, suddenly you rip a sun from the sky, right? What happens? What the wars that broke out, the extinction events that happened. So we went really in depth with it.
It was a lot.
There was a lot. So yeah, check it out in the book. I don't want to spoil it for everybody because some people may just want to experience it in the show. But it's really, really cool, and I put a lot of thought into it.
Gotta be like such a blessing / curse of taking your campaign and actually like writing it down for a book. It's just being like, all right, I gotta think these things through. Oh god, I gotta think these things through.
Yeah, it's very different, but it's a fun challenge. I like it. Shadow Reaper's asking, tell us about how you felt when you got a call out on Critical Role. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I have like this little claim to fame now, is that my Tarask attacked someone on Critical Role. So Dingo, I can hear you laughing super loud in the room next door, but your mic completely cut it out.
I'm sorry, I laughed.
But I heard that laughter straight through the entire house.
That was a big bellowing laugh. I'm sorry. That was just one of those. Yeah, I thought it was just funny, but like, you know, F's in the chat for his finger, but
his poor fingies.
Yeah. The poor fingies.
Like that might be like, of course, your entire video was great, but that may be my single favorite part of that video. Was just him going ah.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, when I added the sound effect. Oh, it's so
good. F's in chat for Robbie's finger.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
And Matt Mercer said he's going to keep the Tarask, so...
Yeah, he loved it, so awesome. And his Tarask is technically only 90% scale, so then the full one that you guys are going to get is 10% larger. Just keep that in mind.
Yes, you guys will have a bigger Tarask than Matt Mercer has.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy that fact.
That's your claim to fame.
Yes.
Oh. Light to Dark Games is asking, if Gothi were to pull out the crystal in her stomach, would she go back to being senile, or would it kill her?
She would... Oh, do you want to answer this or me?
No, you go for it.
She would go senile again, however, it would take... I think we said months to years.
In the end, it would, but I actually rebalanced it in the book. So, in the original story, it took quite a long time, but in the race now, as it's been properly rebalanced, it happens a bit quicker. So... if a 4-claimer gets off their crystal, they will suffer some immediate withdrawals after about an hour of just like severe body pains, because essentially their whole metabolism has to start up again from scratch.
God.
Because, you know, the crystal kind of replaces it. And if they are unpowered for longer than, I think it was a month or a few months, like it was a few weeks, then they actually regress quite a bit physically if they've been dependent on the crystal for a long time. You can actually see this in the free 4-claimer PDF. It's written in there in full. But there's some pretty severe withdrawals. So in Gothi's case, though, yeah, she would just go senile again and eventually just slowly revert to shriveled old Gothi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Nano. Oh, sorry.
No, I cleared my throat.
Oh, there. Hi, Nano's asking, by gameplay mechanics, what was your favorite Fool's Gold boss to fight? What were these boss mechanics? I'm gonna let that one up to you guys for a moment.
Favorite Fool's Gold boss?
Yeah, favorite boss.
A lot of it hasn't happened yet.
Claire was a lot of fun.
That's true.
But Claire was a lot of fun because, like, we knew we were going to fight her. So we got to do a lot of, like, planning ahead of time with, like, you know, making sure that the sigils under the chair weren't active anymore. And just kind of like, well, the anticipation of fighting her and then, like, all of that going out the window when she turned into a giant monster thing.
I think I have more that are just spoilery, so I can't do them. But I did enjoy the Vashinka thing, but that was because of lore and stuff.
Yeah, that was a lore fight.
That was because it was like, it was just, you know, it was fun. And also because it was fun because I forgot that vampires could mind control. That was just like... us just being like, well, me being like, no, fuck, I forgot. Yeah, like, I was so cocky.
I love when you do stuff like that.
Yeah,
you did that with the Baylors, which was like a different campaign. Remember, your character was like, haha, I know what to do.
Yeah. I forgot they could fly, and it was just
gravity on things with wings. It's like, honey,
like,
yeah. Yeah, I forget shit all the time, and it's just like, I forget that I have wild magic sometimes, where I'll just like, when I was playing Sips, it was like I'd cast something, and then you'd pull out the D100s and be like, fuck, I forgot. And it's like, how can you forget that? And it's like, I do. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot going on. Anyway, but yeah, the Vashinko one was really fun because it was just like, there was a lot of like me enjoying beating the shit out of him in a way and being cocky, but then totally getting karma right back at me. And then just a lore thing happening. And I was like, that's terrifying. And then also his hand coming back, which was just like, what? You know, because I didn't, yeah. Well, I mean, by that point, we knew the curse was already in there, but, you know, it was definitely like, fuck. But you and I had talked about it prior, where, like, Sips had gotten his hand fixed, quotation. And then I had a conversation with you afterwards where I was like, yeah, I'm happy about it, like the way we solved it and stuff. But I really liked the wild magic. I really like the wild magic, and I kind of want to keep the wild magic going. And you're like, all right. And so it wasn't like, I didn't know how you were gonna do it. I didn't know if like Sips would just consistently have wild magic or something like that. But you're like, nah, hold my DM screen or something, hold my beer.
Yeah.
But I will
nice.
do it. Yeah, and then instead you just turned him to 50% and was like, see, there it is. Well,
He's like,
thank
yeah,
you.
this is what you wanted, right, honey?
This is it.
He's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Felix, how about Felix, how about like your favorite fights? I guess even as a player in other campaigns, or
I'm gonna kind of, yeah, because I have a favorite fight, and it's funny, I was actually thinking about this one today, but I'm gonna kind of change some details, so if you guys don't recognize it, it's because I'm keeping it spoiler free. But I had one of my favorite boss fights I've ever done is I put on some really epic Witcher music, I put on a really cool alarm sound, and it was a really cool atmosphere, and they were fighting bad guys that had nothing to lose, and I simply said, you guys have exactly 1 minute, as in 10 turns, to save the world. Otherwise, the world will be destroyed. And there is a bad guy between you and the thing you need to do to save it. Roll initiative.
Oh, that took so long because we had to be like, but then you would tell us like, okay, you gotta go. And we would just consistently be like back and forth, just be like, you do the thing, no, you do the thing, and it was just like, and then eventually if we took too long on something, you'd be like, okay,
Time's up.
Time's up, what do you do? And it's like, like I can't. It was a lot of pressure.
10 rounds to save the world or destroy it was a really, really fun fight for me.
It was very good.
Do it again any day.
PTSD.
What do we got next here?
Next question.
Jonah Snyder, will the campaign be available for people who haven't pledged? Yes, it will be. It will just take a while. So after the Kickstarter ends, like I mentioned, there will be backer kit where you can still make some pledges late, and otherwise there will be the full release, hopefully towards the end of 2022. And then you can just, buy it for real, and you don't have to wait a while. It'll just be shipped to you in like maybe a week or two. So be excited for that. Johnny Rogers,
some of the extra goodies.
how can people contact you? On Twitter is the best to contact me at Felix Ernich.
Yes.
Pro
Voice Actor 1. Okay, question. What actually happened to the ducks? And bonus question, is Dwayne okay?
But he asked me about the ducks. The ducks are fine. Gothi,
Oh,
Gothi...
by the way, people want you to talk in Old Gothi voice, so maybe just respond to this question in Old Gothi.
Okay. The ducks are fine. I put them in a lake near Puerto Rico so they can go and live their ducky lives. And and that's where the ducks are. And what was second question?
What?
I already deleted it. Hang on. It was
Dwayne. It was about Dwayne.
Dwayne. Is Dwayne okay?
Dwayne's okay.
Dwayne is good. He doesn't call often enough though.
He's got family you need to take care of.
Yeah, he's got family.
Little rock kids.
Little rock.
He's got little pebbles.
Little pebbles.
People are asking, how do we feel about reaching the 1 million mark? Or how do we feel about the 1.5 million mark?
Want to scream, but my mic will cut out.
Yeah, exactly. We could scream, but you wouldn't hear it. You know what we've discovered? So we've discovered something really weird. And I didn't know this until we did this Kickstarter and we got like all these milestones and stuff. I tend to get really like tickly. Like I really want to tickle people when I get excited apparently. So poor Dingo, like whenever we hit a stretch goal, I'm just like chasing her through the apartment. Like just like tickling her to death.
And squeeze me and just like, ah! And I'm like, you back! Back!
Back, demon.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like that, you know that aggressive energy you get when something is like exciting and cute, but it's like wholesome? That's what that is.
You threatened me with that today because Dingo wasn't at work, so it was just you and I, and you were getting really hyped about the millions. And you were just like, oh, I might be a tickle moon. I'm just like, you don't you fucking dare.
I just love threatening you with that.
No.
No.
Here's a question from Feng Wang. Do Mercury Dragonborn exist and what are they like? Holy shit, I never thought about that. Yo! You know what? They exist now.
Write that down.
Write that down. I want you to make one. Because I never considered that fact. And, okay, technically the Mercury Dragon is not really like any other dragons, right? It's a little special.
Yeah, it doesn't have reproduction at all or any sort of thing. Unless you want to die.
Well, you know what? Dragonborn can be created magically. So, honestly, make the Mercury Dragonborn. Let me know how it goes. It would definitely have a light attack, like a like searing light breath weapon. So keep that in mind. But holy crap. Let me know how that goes. I want to know all about it. Here we have Eli.
Terrifying.
Huh?
That's terrifying. I never want to come across one of those.
I'm gonna make one.
No.
I'm gonna
in a dark alley.
Oh yeah, it just melts in front of you.
Well, what if it's okay? So what if you just put it in sands and it's in the desert and it's just always melting? Like what?
Like a whole group of like, so they don't really have dragonborns. They just sort of like shed and turn into like other smaller versions of their like people, and they're just like, hello, what is that thing Jehovah's Witnesses say? Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, me, or something like that?
Yeah, me.
Oh, we got Julian in chat.
Hi, Julian.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find my next question.
Which, just saying, Julian, people have consistently been tweeting at me lately about where is Julian and Gorthan.
Yeah, they really missed
I don't know what happened, but now it's more aggressive than ever. Like, I have that, like, once in a while, but now it's, like, 6 tweets at me, and I'm like, why? Not that I'm a little complaining, but, like, it's just, like...
a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's just like, why? I've explained what happened. But people are always like, are they dead? And it's like, no! I explained in episode 9. Go watch it. You'll figure it out.
Now people are demanding a drawing of you, like, keeping me at bay from tickling you.
Yeah, just like foot in your face.
Lion tamer with a chair.
No.
Here's another question. Felix, should the Trask terrify my friends before the campaign, or should I use it as a surprise? Oh, honestly, that depends how you want to do this. Because if you always have it on your shelf, they will be mildly threatened whenever they enter the room, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever
always
they
be like,
down,
why did you get that?
It's just like the whole like, not today, Satan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but if you surprise them with it, you do get really big, like, oh shit, like screaming moments when you bust it out. So
what's your preferred method of torture?
Exactly. Like, do you want like the long, slow burn, or do you want like just like the bam, ripped your arm off kind of surprise? You know.
See, what you can do is if you have it on the shelf behind you, is every once in a while you'll like yawn and do like that long arm stretch where you like, you stretch out your arm and like stretch it out strategically close to the Tarrasque on the shelf. It makes it look like you're reaching for it, and then you go for the yawn and you're like, oh wow, really tired today.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh.
Yeah, that's the idea.
All right, next question. I'm trying to blast through them right now, so I'll get caught up with chat again. I apologize. Determination free question: is burnout common for players and the DM? If so, how do you go about avoiding it without compromising the schedule? We haven't really found it to be too common. I have to say, I love my party, and I loved my Fool's Gold party because we barely ever canceled sessions. Usually, it had someone had to almost like lose a leg for us to cancel a session. People they would make the time. Everybody knew, Tuesday night, be there, be square. And it worked. It worked really well. So burnout, not too common, but honestly, if it does happen, just take a break, call the session off, and say, or you know what, do a palate cleanser session. Or maybe one of your friends wants to DM for just the night, doing like a little one shot just to kind of dip their toes into the DMing, right?
Yeah, we've definitely had times, even with you, where like you were like just super dead and tired, and we just role played the entire session. Like we just like all were like, okay, well, why don't we go shopping? And that's the entire session is us just buying stuff and talking and planning things. And like we do super chill because we can tell that like, yeah, Felix, you're tired because you had a hard day at work. So we're just gonna chill and like do something fun and usually wholesome. So
Spa days are like our
yeah,
we
spa
have
days.
off days, or we have like spa days, we have shopping days, and hey, you know what? What's another like good
Party
off session?
days?
So when like two players couldn't make it and everybody else just wants to have an easy session, make them go to like a karaoke bar where they can just like sing and chill, and then summon a fucking Tarask in an off session where nothing was supposed to happen.
Yeah, well, we all can't live in, rainbows and unicorns, man. Shit just happens.
Uh-huh.
I guess to be fair, the Tarask was kind of sort of my fault also.
Yeah, you were all just like karaoke, and I was like, I don't know.
Go and sing Sips, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I trusted you.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to do was a bit of pizzazz. That's all I wanted.
It was like one of those rare nights where Sips was having a good old time.
Yeah!
And
he was
then
actually
it all
happy.
went to shit.
That's how it always happened with him. He's like, oh, I'm happy. That's not gonna last for long, and it did not.
And I come creeping around the corner with the trauma bat. So good. Here's a question from Mr. Cyber Thief. Not just Cyber Thief, it's Mr. Cyber Thief.
Thank you.
It's a question for Gothi. After you were granted intelligence, what made you make the jump to become the reliable party leader of today? What influenced that roleplay shift over the campaign?
Necessity.
Yeah,
That's such an honest response.
I was just about to say, I was like, man, like, there's no, like...
Have you seen Sips and Arita? Someone needs to keep an eye on those two shitheads.
We had a bit more of a balance while there were still like Gorthan and Julian. Okay, Gorthan didn't contribute to
No.
balance, but Julian did. But once Julian and Gorthan weren't there anymore, it's like, oh yeah, we need another competent person.
Which, it was funny, because I remember at the very beginning, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do the leader role, because I never did that, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I was like, 30 minutes in, and I realized Sips was very mad, because I was mad in the world, so I just like, I don't think this is going to work. But I was technically, like, I was trying to be the leader until, Gothi became Gothi now. New Gothi than old Gothi. So for a while I was trying to be the leader, but that just led to more chaos because Sips was chaotic. Yeah, like the decisions with like, burning Beauclair's house down. like that episode perfectly shows off how I was trying to be a leader, but it was like, yeah, child murder. And let's burn
Sips is the epitome of that trope where the good guy, the villain, tries to be nice for a day, and no matter what he does, he accidentally causes just untold chaos. And he's like, no, I was trying to be good. I was like, buying the orphan kid an ice cream cone, and then like somehow that
Chokes,
ends.
dies.
Exactly.
Yep. All right.
Wow.
Next question.
I just want to mention there's someone in chat who met you at the art gallery who talked about Zelda with you. That's crazy.
Oh,
Really?
totally.
Wow. Small world.
That's crazy. I remember you.
Yeah.
Not to call you out, but I remember you. Well, I remember you, and yeah, I remember explaining about what I did, which was that's always hard.
Try to pitch what you do.
Yeah, it's always hard to pitch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, next question. I'm gonna keep trying to push through these because there's so many. You guys are awesome. Like, I don't want to say stop asking questions. Not at all. I'm just saying I want to answer them.
Shut up! No, I'm kidding.
No, don't you dare.
No.
Johnny
Joking.
Rogers is asking if I'm planning on teaching others how to DM. You know what? That's a thought I've been playing with, of making some DM videos of just like, hey, here's like some D&D tips, but maybe make them like a really funny video, so maybe something short and sweet. I don't know whether I should. Maybe like, give me a potato in chat if you think it's a good idea. Because
you're gonna have the potatoes determine on what you want to do.
I
In
will
your
let
career.
the potatoes determine if I should make a video or a video series on it. Anyway. Okay, that's a lot of potatoes.
I told.
Holy crap, that's a lot of potatoes! Oh no, the potatoes!
Overwhelming amount of potatoes.
I don't
Did
think
this
they
to
want the
yourself.
series. I don't think so. Because, no, I...
You did, yeah. You
this
did.
is like, this is what I get for challenging chat to
You were just
potatoes.
talking about how you have a hard time keeping track of the questions, and now
Also
you
for
went and did this.
Cammy was
Yeah.
like trying to stop like emoji spam earlier, making sure we stay on track with questions.
Oh
and
my
now,
God.
now Cammy's just
Why
like,
did you
I'm
do
drowning
that
in
to her?
potato. I'm
so
sorry,
sorry,
Cammy.
Cammy.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Look what
okay,
you did.
okay. You win. I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna make some. I'll think about it. I need to find time to actually make these. I will. This is sufficient potatoes to fund this video series.
On the video, sorry.
Oh jeez. All right. So next question. Moving on. Kenny asking, how much of a surprise was it to learn that Jack had a Zanu fragment in his body? Oh, you guys tell me. Yeah. what do you
I
think
mean-
about that?
I mean, for me, because I found out it from Zanu. I was just like, no fucking way. That fucking dweeb. No way. Is that dweeb gonna be the one who has like one of the pieces? And I mean, we didn't. We had to confirm it later, but I mean, you guys were the ones who like had that whole, pushing out the soul of a wyvern and shit like that.
I mean, for me, it was a little bit of confirmation because I always was sus of Jack.
Yeah.
So it's just
True.
like, I knew it. I knew there was something up with that scrawny bastard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we were always suspicious of that guy, and I mean, Sips hated his guts for good
He's not
reason.
special for that reason. He hated
Yeah.
everybody's guts.
That's true. That's true. But he did stab you. It was just
That's right. I forgot about that.
yeah, I mean, from that point on, we were just like, well, hold on. This guy's beyond suspicious. And we actually, like, after that, because I didn't go in depth about what happened afterwards, but we, like, tied him up, and we questioned him for a while, I remember.
Yeah, you didn't
After
trust
he
him at all.
stabbed the shit out of you, because we were just like, we're gonna, like, we need to talk. And it took us a while. I think we left him for, like, a day or two. All
Did we
tied
leave
up.
him- Did we leave him on purpose or did we forget about him again? Because we forgot about him a lot.
That's true. We did forget about him. I think it was like we left him for a couple days, and then we were like, "Oh shit!" And then we went and we untied him and talked to him again, or whatever.
Column A, column B.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit column A, a little bit of column B. But yeah, the one thing that some people say in episode 18 when Gothi has that initial like, "Hey, are you with me or against me?" And you rolled that sense motive check. I think you failed it, right? But
all anymore.
I think you failed it, but because you're not a metagamer, you're just like, Gothi's like, "Oh, okay." You know? It's just like, because you're not going to be like, "Well, I failed it, then obviously he's lying," or something like that. And it's like, no, it just means that you don't have all the information. And then when you did confront him again after all the bullshit, you succeeded all of your rolls, and that's when you were like, "There's something up," and Felix was clearly being like, "He's not lying to you, but you can tell there's something, you know,
something shifty."
See,
yeah,
thank God you, like Dingo, you have such a photographic memory for stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
do.
D&D specifically, I did not remember.
no, I remember, and I actually have like a really, really good memory with like conversations, like dialogue. Like I still write all the dialogue, and more or not, like a lot of it's just like my voice in a way. But I do remember some key points that people made and key sentences that I remember people saying, and I was like, that was really good. I'm gonna keep that. And I use it word for word, usually, depending on how it flows.
Yeah, you really like to do that, which I think is really neat that you'll actually take stuff that we said out loud in the session, in the OG run, and be like, no, this is going in there.
Yeah, like jokes too.
Yeah.
Like the fucking like, the dragon fighting with Gresh, with the button. And
Yeah,
Arena's player was just like doing super mega awesome, like,
Yeah.
like you gotta hit the button, and we're just like, push that damn button. We're just like yelling at him.
there's one joke that's coming up that you haven't done it yet, but we're all looking forward to it so much.
Oh yeah, that's true. That joke's so good.
Made us laugh so hard.
There's so much good shit, and like, even with the example from this episode, though, I mean, we had the comic, but the whole like, you know, like you've gotten shorter, and it's like not a god. I mean, I added goddamn to it because sass, but like it was just like not a word. But it was genuinely like them being friends again, which I really enjoyed. Like we were having so much fun with it, and yeah, it was so sweet. But I even found the comic. I want to post it later, but I found the comic of that interaction between Sips and Abby, with the finger, and just like grabbing her finger.
Yeah.
I remember that, of just being like, because she actually was poking his chest, but I couldn't. I wanted to put that in the episode, but each angle of the shot, I was like, it can't be justified because he's sitting down and he's not standing up anymore. So it doesn't make sense of her being like, poke, poke, poke. It was like, no, it just makes sense that her finger's right in his face. And I was like, okay, I can work with that. So I just remember when she was getting really close, and then like your finger was in my face, Felix.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I grabbed it. And then I said, like, Sips grabs her finger, and he was just like, oh, she panics. And like the sentence of him saying, I know, that's the whole goddamn point. I said that out loud. Like that's the actual line that I said.
That was good.
And yeah, so a lot of the lines that are like, I try to hit home, a lot of them we've said out loud. But yeah, I have a really good memory when it comes to our sessions. It's like a weird thing that I have. I can't remember other things so easily, but for some reason D&D, I think it's because it's storytelling. I remember that shit so well.
It's probably because it's like emotional, and like that. You know, like people will remember emotional stuff more than they remember like mundane stuff. So if all of this stuff is like really emotional for you, then it would make sense that it's that it just stays with you.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, that's
You're like,
true.
made me feel things.
How dare.
Yeah. I don't do that often enough in my life, so I have to do it in D&D. All right, next question.
Sure. I'm gonna kind of answer 3 questions at once, which is
Sure.
asking me how I get my inspiration, what inspires my inspiration and my setting and storytelling, what were my first steps to world building. Honestly, these are probably really good questions for those videos that you guys just voted for. You know what? I get them from video games overall. I get them from all over the place. You know, inspiration can come from the weirdest places, and the weirdest encounters in life. But a lot of it, I really like. I'll maybe enjoy like the feeling of a moment in a video game, or like, you know, I really enjoyed like the vibe of this boss fight, or there was like a really cool mechanic, in like this piece, and then, you know, I might be inspired by that and then design my own thing about it. But overall, you know, I love games like Zelda, Witcher, Dark Souls, Mario, like all that good stuff's in there. It's all thrown in a big blender. What about you? What about you guys?
Us?
Yeah, is it kind of the same for you? Like, if we're good, it's like shows, right? Or
Shows, but music.
music?
More
Yes,
than
okay, music
anything.
is huge for me too. I always picture scenarios to music.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
music is
I've played
my
a lot. Of
blood.
that.
I also will say that I definitely will pick stuff that I know you guys like. Like Dingo loves Full Metal Alchemist, so I feel like I put a little bit of some of that stuff into the campaign. Or Felix, you know, like loves Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So like, it's not just about what I like; it's about what my players like and what I know they'll get a big kick out of.
Yeah.
But my current campaign was very Ghibli inspired.
Mm,
I think Howl's Moving Castle especially.
definitely, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my campaign's very heavily Full Metal.
Mm-hmm. Full Metal and Avatar. You love Avatar
Yeah.
Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah. It's like the 2 shows that I could watch forever. It's just like Avatar Last Airbender and Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So,
And I can-
controversial.
And I can say for Fool's Gold, it was a lot of Witcher and a lot of Dark Souls in there, specifically.
Yeah. Fucking
So-
PTSD listening to that music.
Yeah, I made them suffer. Okay, let's do
Next
another
question.
question. Oh, I love your username, The Wizard. The Wizard is asking, I'm working on a new magic system that relies on soul magic and point system outside of spell slots. Any recommendations for different spells or leveling systems? You know what? None that I can really talk about easily, but what I'll mention is I actually have soul magic in the book. Because I invented 2 new types of magic for the book, or not invented, let's say developed, which is Oniromancy, the magic of dreams, and Soulmancy, the magic of souls. So if you love soul magic, you're really going to enjoy some of the stuff I put in the book. Like, you know, for soul magic, there's stuff like you can curse a soul, you can capture it, you can literally obliterate a soul to prevent it from ever being resurrected, even by gods. So
It is gone.
it's just gone. It's never coming back. Which was actually a type of magic invented by the Foreclaimers. And there's a lot of lore to
Figure.
explore.
Does it suck? It's invented by the Foreclaimers.
Next question, Zenro. Was Bucket meant to be called Bucket, or did Felix just run with it because he was out of names? No, he was not supposed to be called Bucket. I never rolled with it either, but they didn't give me a choice.
Yeah, you tried to actually, like, as soon as I said Bucket, he was like, wait, no, actually, my name is, and then he, like, gave me his name, which I think we said was, like, John? Or, like, James or something
It was
like
a
that?
very normal name. Because it
It's
was like,
very
no,
normal.
just call me this name.
Yeah, and it was like, no, wait, my name's actually this, and I was just like, no, it's Bucket now, and then everybody agreed at the table, and then from there on, we called him Bucket. No mercy.
No mercy. And that name was just, like, stamped, like, branded on the character. No getting rid of it. They wouldn't let me.
And Felix learned his lesson that day.
And I never did a nameless character again.
Nope.
Ooh. Fuck you.
What?
For Bucket.
Oh, you love him.
Yeah, I know.
The man who distributes holy water.
Next question from James Kernshi. Karenshi? Sorry if I got that
Crunchy.
wrong. Crunchy? Okay, James Crunchy. See, granted, you're not crunchy. We don't care. You're crunchy now. Crunchy's asking, how do you balance the information you share with your players versus what the characters know? Does Dingo know more than the others, or do you keep secrets for drama? Oh, I totally keep secrets for drama. You kidding me? I only tell them exactly what they need to know, not a bit more. I enjoy using lack of information as a mechanic, right? So people will only know their own backstories, and it's up to them to share parts of it. And like, it's if they learn something, it's like, it's fun if someone knows something about a danger, for example, and then can warn the others about it. Or like, they know about a danger and the others don't know about it, and they're about to walk into a trap.
I'm having flashbacks to one of those scenarios exactly you're describing.
Yeah, is this one we can share, or is it spoilers?
I can't because it's spoilers.
Okay.
It's I mean, I can tell you two and you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, character A swears something is in front of them and swears it's there.
Yeah, right, I forgot.
Yeah, but I definitely pass notes sometimes of just like, you see this, and you pass a note to the others, you do not see this.
I think you did that with the Halloween one-off.
I did.
Yeah,
Didn't-
the Halloween one
I
off.
did, where certain people were seeing different things, and they were screaming at each other like, there's a monster right there! And the other people are just like, there's nothing there, what are you talking about, right? But the way I wrote the note implies that the others are the crazy ones, but both sides got that note, so they're accusing each other. Oh, man.
He sucks.
Love it.
While we're just here kind of like, constantly like telling everybody how cool the other person is, Dingo is a fucking masterclass at building an entire campaign or an entire story around a single twist.
Yep.
and then throwing it at us and then breaking our brains for a good 3 nights. That's your jam.
I am the foreshadowing queen.
Yeah, if you guys think it's bad the way that she leaves cliffhangers in her videos, just imagine what it's like when she has an entire campaign with a really something's going on, you don't have all the pieces, and then she finally tells you what the hell, what the hidden mechanic or what the hidden thing has been the whole time, and you have to stop and reassess every single thing you did. Every single clue she gave you that you were just like, and you just didn't pay attention to. My God.
Yeah, the one that I was very proud of, that was my very first campaign, because I haven't finished the other one yet, so I don't want to talk about it as much.
Yeah.
But the first one, I broke Felix for about 5 minutes.
5 solid
10
minutes. I couldn't talk. I was just stammering of just and thinking, right? Because she blew my brain, she blew my mind so hard. That's just I had to go back in my mind through the entire campaign thinking and what about this thing? What about that thing? What about that thing? That was a lie too? It just went back.
Yeah, because
all the way to the
essentially,
front.
yeah, because I don't mind talking about it because it's a done campaign. But essentially, what it was that he had the same NPC follow him through the entire campaign, but kept body swapping. Well, their soul was rotting away each body it would inhabit, so he would get attached to this NPC, and they would slowly have this rot, and then the rot would just take over and eventually kill them. So it looked like it was a plague that was affecting all these NPCs, but it just turned out to be one person that just had this consistent rot, which if anybody knows Full Metal Alchemist, you'll see that connection. I'm not trying to hide it, but essentially this NPC had been following your character because they wanted to help you, but in doing so they kind of came across as evil, because they kept jumping into bodies and like technically killing the people because they now pushed their soul out of their body to inhabit their body, which is pretty evil. So I had the entire campaign like multiple NPCs just over and over again, and I gave these hints that this was the same person, and even when you were talking to me you were like, yeah, because this was my first campaign, it was just like, yeah, you know, your DMing's good, but your NPCs kind of all feel the same sometimes. And I was like, yeah, and it was because it's the same person. But I tried to change them up just a tiny bit so that you could feel that it was a little bit different. And you know, I would even have subtle hints where the soul was in another body that was like a vegetarian, and you were at a restaurant with them, and they ordered something with meat, but then they stopped them.
Burger.
Yeah, and they were like, "Wait, no, a salad." But you just thought it was because I slipped up, but no, it was because the NPC was like, actually should be eating vegetables. And I also had like an interaction with you in a hot springs. Yeah. Where the NPC was like being all dude bro with you, but like very awkward because the soul was a woman, and she wasn't used to being surrounded by a bunch of naked dudes. And it was like, because she was just awkward, she didn't know what to do. So it was just like, hey, you good, bro? And it's like, oh yeah, totally. And like this shit had just been, I'd been building this for like a year and a half, and then finally I got to drop it. Where it was just like, I've been here the whole time, you know? And it was just like, what? That
was so much fun because, like, I wasn't a player in the campaign, so you could tell me everything. So I was also in the periphery, just being like, oh, I cannot wait for when Felix, like, learns about this.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely goals for me. I want to get to your level on that.
We all have our like crazy strengths. Yep. Like your strength is definitely like, you know, NPCs and like story itself and stuff like that. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
I will
also,
definitely.
You just have cool creatures too. So.
Oh, thank you. I will definitely use my NPCs to make people cry.
Yeah, you've made me cry twice.
Yeah. Yes. Never forgive you.
Aha.
And I am a hard crier. I don't cry easily.
I know, that's why it's so good.
All right.
Next question.
Lavender
Fellow. DM here with a question for Felix. What is your process for creating things like magic items? Honestly, I just think about what's fun, and then I try to make it work in a reasonably balanced way. But hey, this might be something I should put in a video, so I'm gonna save me that one for later. Thank you for that question. But I didn't want to leave you hanging with no answer. Also, look for reference. Look for like official items or reputable items and see how they balance themselves, and just try to match that level of balance. Edward Calvo is asking, are there Warforged in your setting or something people can play that always stays with the lore? Yeah, honestly, all the races are good to go, Warforged included. Actually, the other day, Wolfric, I think it was, made a Warforged Weaver, which was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So, yes, play Warforged, have fun. Oh yeah, Wolfric just confirmed that it was him. So yeah, Warforged Weaver, so cool. The Universe Knight is asking, as a player, did Gothi know that the party was going to explode for a few sessions? Oh, I guess like go apart. Yeah. What was your reaction out of character?
Nobody expects exploding.
Nobody expects explosions.
No, you also sprung that on us on the table. Like, we didn't know ahead of time.
Yeah, what was your reaction?
I'm trying to recall.
I remember.
You remember my reaction?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, tell me, because I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much you just having that moment where you go, what? Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, because you didn't think I was being serious, you know, because we joke around all the time. But you actually thought I was joking for a moment, and I was like, no, I'm actually leaving because this is the only way I can think of. Like, I didn't say this, but it was like, this is the only way I can think of how to fix Sips right now, is for him to have some distance and figure out his shit because he doesn't like to accept help. So, yeah, it was just like, I just remember you just saying like, I'm sorry, what? And then we had a conversation, and then of course there was a lot of shouting, and then
Not like
and
in
then,
character shouting, not
yeah,
just like
of course,
me
of
shouting
course.
at you.
No, it was mostly Arena shouting.
Nice.
But I do remember that really strong moment that I kept it. I mean, I kept as much as I can in the series, but I remember the pause and then you just being like, okay, all right, I don't agree with it, but I respect it. And you were like, you can go, like it's okay. And I mean, for me as a player, that meant a lot because this was the thing I needed for him, and I couldn't justify him sticking around with the way everything was going. And so I was glad. And then of course my character was like, okay, bye. And then Arena was like, me too. And we're like, what? because I had told Felix, well, we were actually driving. I remember this. We were driving in the car. I think we were driving to another D&D session from Gorthen and Julian, and you were like asking me like, how are you feeling about Sips? Because you had pulled that big reveal and everything, and I was just like, it was a lot. And I had thought about it for a while, and then I said to you, I think I have to leave. And he's like, what? Leave like the car? Like we're driving? And I was like, no, like I think Sips needs to leave. Yeah. It's like, no, I think Sips needs to leave. Like I think I'm actually planning for him to leave now. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay, sure. And then we kind of talked about it some more, and I said, is that okay? And he said, well, sure, we can try it. And then I kind of gave you a bit of like, well, I mean, it'll be Gothi and Arena so that you can still do Jack's quest and then just have Sips as a separate thing. Like, we'll still all play together, but you can still go do the main quest. And because I didn't want to toss out your whole story or anything, I just wanted to figure out his own shit. And then, of course, you had prepared that. You had prepared that it was going to be Gothi and Arena going to go do Jack's quest. Because that just... And, of course, then when Arena was like, actually, I remember...
Wow.
Gonna do that in front of players. Like... Because you had not...
Talking DM strengths.
What? What happened?
Stream just froze. Give me a second.
Oh,
Hey, Twitch guys, is the stream frozen for you too? Give me something in the chat if it's frozen.
spam potatoes if it's
That's
frozen.
in the chat.
If it's not frozen.
Well,
Spam potatoes if it's not frozen.
Nope, they're not saying anything either. Crap. Oh, that one's back. Jittering back in. We're back in. Hello? Hello?
hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
It's crashing every 5 seconds. What the hell is going on? My internet breaking down?
I can hear you just fine. If it was your internet,
Oh,
then
I mean-
Jingo and I would.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back. Okay, yeah. Okay, we live.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah. I literally didn't I didn't even touch anything as I was trying to fix it. I'm just like, oh, it's broken, and then I see it's already back up.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right. Sorry about that.
Anyway, we'll start this now with another question. How about that?
Sounds good. Okay. Everybody's back. Make sure you guys refresh if you can't hear us yet. But we should be good to go. I'm just gonna give him Nat 1 stream check. Oh, shush. Nat 1 internet provider. Okay. No potatoes right now. You know, I promise you, we will have time for potatoes later. Later, I promise. Poor Cammy, she's just buried in potatoes.
She's never gonna come back and do
just
this
being
again
like,
for us.
No potatoes right now. We're gonna come later. Sabrina Watson has a question. How do you keep track of all the plot points? I always have trouble of forgetting, then panicking as I realized it was important. So, the way I do that is actually super simple. At the end of every session, I write like just 2-3 lines of what happened. Super brief summary, and if it was something important, I put a little star beside it. That's it. The rest is in my head. Simple as that. Do you guys do anything special, Dingo?
For what was it? Sorry.
Like keeping track of important plot points in a session. I mean, I'm guessing you just write down little points,
I did the exact same thing. I do like my little notes, which is like 2 to 3 lines, because I have a very short attention span for that. And I write down, of course, NPC names if we make... Like, I usually take notes as we go. If it's important enough for me to be like, I am going to forget this by the end of the session. You know, like a name of an NPC. So, or like what specific thing the NPC was selling or something that I don't remember. Like, I usually make up, like, foods on the fly. Like, it's a Smurf and turf. You know, it's like I have to write these things down. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it can be that simple. I mean, also, maybe you have some certain music you like to listen to help you get in the mood, you know? Like get into the thinking groove. That totally helps too.
I just saw a question of somebody being like, can Sips eat his arm? And I'm like, what context is this?
No context. Just answer the question. Answer the damn
question.
Tasty monkey arm. No.
Tasty.
Another question from Shadow Reaper. What comes after 1.75 million if we do reach that? There is another thing.
Yes.
But we're not announcing it until Monday. And like we shouldn't tell people yet, right? We should wait.
I mean, it doesn't matter. To be honest.
Tell me.
Okay, you know what? No, fine. We'll. You know what? This is an exclusive announcement that only you guys will get to hear about. But we're officially talking about this on Monday.
Yeah.
There is one more stretch goal at $2 million.
The 2 million. Yeah, the 2 million.
And wait, I want to make sure I'm not getting these mixed up now. It's the one that you like so much, right?
Yeah. Well, I can talk about
That's
it.
right. Now I'm remembering.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
remembering
Okay.
now. You no longer have to tell anybody because I remembered what it is.
No, it's too late. I already told him we're announcing it.
Yeah, it's fine, and I'll do it. So
for
pretty
it.
much what we're doing at the 2 million is that if we get to 2 million, we will be doing some comics, some comic books. And I can't give detail on what the comics will entail and what exactly like is happening with that. But it will have the characters, and but yeah, I want to do some comic books. So yeah, we'll see if we get there. So it's one of those. It's one of the stretch goals that I have to be super like. I can't talk too much about it. It's special. But I'm really rooting for it. I'm like, oh, if we get this, I'm gonna die happy. But I mean, at the point we're at, I'm very okay dying happy now. But yeah. So
physical comic books.
Yes.
So.
Well, I think they say PDF right now, but I'm pretty sure we would want to print them.
This is another thing where it's like, cannot guarantee, but hey, if we can do physical books, we're gonna. We gonna. So absolutely. Now we you know, go up your pledges. So get us another 2 million. No, I'm just kidding. No, you guys buy what you like, and
yeah, no pressures.
And no pressure at all. But hey,
buy food first before you
buy your food, buy your bare necessities, and then you buy Fool's Gold, and then you do anything else. No, I'm kidding. And hey, I mean, if you guys just want to enjoy some of this content, there's the PDF, right? Which is super cheap. Serendipity is asking, I want to hear Felix's voice acting for the Fool's Gold NPCs because I'm used to dingoes. Oh, well, like, which NPC?
Jack. Do Jack.
I mean, it's just kind of a southern accent. It's the way he
Southern
talks.
accent.
Southern accent. I mean, I haven't done this accent in like 3 or 4 years now. Been a while. Been a while, y'all.
I put in a request.
What's that?
Can I put in a request?
Yes.
I want to hear your Vicky.
Let me take a drink.
And turn down your gain.
My gain is down. I'm just gonna lean back.
Okay.
But she's like really cute and like really tiny. It's Vicky. Vicky's so excited. She's so
Oh
excited
god, too bright.
to be the tiny daughter.
Tiny daughter.
That would be Vicky, and a voice I can't really do very long. But man, it's been a while since I've done that voice. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then Mixat is pretty good because it's just like
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just a very sassy voice, and when she's trying to tear you apart. That's Mixass. Also, there's people asking for old Gothi, so you might as well give him one.
give him an old Gothi. about
Give him an old Gothi, man.
Give him an old Gothy. God, yeah. Sorry, kids. Gothy had a stroke. Oh no, this is old Gothy. Sounds like a generic old lady with indistinguishable, vaguely European accent.
Someone is asking, just Draco Dragon is just quickly asking, like, how do I do female voices as a guy? Any advice? You know what? The easiest advice I can give you is just make all your ladies really big and butch so that they all talk with a low voice anyways. That's the easiest I can give you.
Oh my god.
But you know what? There's only so much you can do. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
I can do like a really cute little voice.
I can do that pretty well, but that's just because I was kind of born with that ability. But you know, it's like, you know, this might be the voice of like a more like noble lady in my campaign. Something a bit more soft. You know, like something like that is
Abby?
how I might do it.
How you did Abby, which
Yeah.
was much softer.
Abby was just like, she was a very soft and a bit more high-pitched voice. That's a little calm. That's how she would speak. A little bit like that. Zanu, yeah. I mean, Zanu is kind of easy though. He just speaks stern and precise when he addresses you. There's nothing much special about his voice other than he just speaks perfectly and enunciates like a motherfucker.
And he's an ass.
And
He
he's
does
a
sound
little
like-
bit of an asshole, but that is an accident because that is simply because he speaks precisely and he is very aware that he is better than you. That is just.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you really know? You're just a monkey, right?
He's just immortal.
Exactly.
You would always say that, like, you do not understand as you are immortal. And it's
Yes.
like, like so.
This is just. You would never understand. So, I will not
Yeah.
explain it to you.
I mean, yeah, if like character pitch voices isn't really your thing, like you don't really want to have to try and do a character with a high pitched voice, doing a different cadence in your speech or like, you know, like how they enunciate or how they pronounce things or like abbreviate words can do a lot. You know, like does the character stutter? Do they kind of slur their words? Do they talk really casually or really formally? Like, if you have a huge roster of NPCs, you're eventually gonna run out of different funny voices, and you're gonna have to lean on to just like
Yeah, just
how
mannerisms and stuff.
One of the advice points that I gave you, Felix, I remember, was that you can move your mouth.
Yes,
So-
really move your mouth
Right.
and keep
And like really kind of keep it there, you know?
like that kind of stuff.
Like,
yeah,
move
like
it
you're
around.
talking through the corner of your teeth and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Or like, remember when I tried to do demon voice, I was thinking, well, it's got to be teethy. So literally, I just keep my teeth clenched together. I'm like, this, this is how a demon talks, and it's very aggressive because he never ever takes his teeth apart when he talks. You know, like that.
I also remember you guys pointed out to me that you could tell which NPC I was playing just based on how I was sitting.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
posture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you want to get into character. Totally makes sense.
Yeah. Like when I was playing a really casual character, I would lean right back. But whenever I was playing, I think it was like it's almost like Topa. Like whenever I play Topa, you can actually see like my shoulders rise up, and I get more tense
Yeah.
and a lot more neurotic looking.
Or when you play Pakaya.
Oh god, Pakaya. I mean, Pakaya is all stutter and all anxious.
She vibrates. That's
Yeah.
what she does.
That's true. She quite literally just sits there and vibrates. She's like a tiny Chihuahua dog.
Yeah.
Wondering how Mr. Wizardly's voice sounds? That's easy. It's just very tired of your bullshit. Why are you even bothering him right now? Alright, here's $5. Go get me some nuggies. Don't
Need
get
those
lost again in
nugs.
the abyss. That's how he would talk. What do we got? Next question is from Charlie Vu. What did you expect this Fool's Gold thing would make, and are you surprised that it made this much? No idea, and yes. We got this whole thing started as a bunch of idiots playing D&D in a basement. And suddenly, I'm sitting here a few years later with the claim of like, hey, you've made like a multi-million-dollar like brand. You know, it's like, huh? What?
Wait, what?
What happened? You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I worked.
Yeah, like it's
on
so
episodes.
No, we're
kept-
freaking out all the time about this.
Yeah.
But it's awesome because as we explained before, every dollar of this is going back into creative projects, right? You know, whether it's a podcast or whether it's other things, like it's gonna go towards something creative that you all get to enjoy.
Mhm.
Also just super humbling and like really really amazing because like, you know, we were working on this thing for a while, but we had no idea whether or not anybody was actually gonna want it. You know, like
Yeah.
it like until you see physical numbers in front of you, it's hard to be sure whether or not this actually has a good impact. And you know, like YouTube videos, we always knew that people were watching it, but there's, you know, that saying, "Put your money where your mouth is like very applicable right now. Of
Mhm.
just being like, oh wow, people actually like this enough that they want it on their shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah, we're like, do people want this? And we look at the Kickstarter now. Yep, they wanted it.
We should probably wrap it up soon because
Yeah.
poor Cammy.
So poor Cammy's falling asleep. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna speed run the questions I still have in my queue, and that'll be all the ones we get to today.
Okay, so no more questions, unfortunately, chat.
Yeah. Oh, here's a comment though. Can you tell Gothi that is one very sexy weapon? Yes, I can.
thank you.
That's gonna be sick.
How much
He's
of the
gonna use it on
world?
Rooster.
How much of the world,
Rooster.
regions, continents, countries is in the book? There is a basic overview of the place, but it's really just focused on the country. I guess you kind of say country based on the size of the Bellowing Wilds. It's entirely focused on that, but there is overall world lore as well. And then we have Fresh Orange asking, will the Alchemist's Quarry map be available for free? I kind of want to use it in the setting. It will not be available for free, but if you just want the map, you can just back the Kickstarter for the PDF, which will likely release, you know, a bit earlier than physical books because you don't have to wait for shipping. And that's not too expensive. So if you just want Alchemist Quarry, go for the PDF. Mint and Doggo asks, what do you think is a really interesting concept that you could implement into D&D? Honestly,
Very broad question.
that's a super broad question, but
That is up to you to decide.
that's up
Yeah.
to you. If there's a show you enjoy, a game you enjoy, baking or something, like look at your life, look at things you like. You can probably turn them into something D&D related, right? Like if you like gardening, well, guess what? Plant monsters are attacking this world now, you know. Next question, Balmung of Sky asking, is Sans going to be played in 3.5 or 5e? That is still undetermined at the moment.
We're leaning towards
closely.
5e though, because
we're
that
not.
one's. It's more consumable.
I'm
People
joking.
can still do
we are
stuff
leaning
with
more
it.
towards 5e. Oh, we got some Electro Bunny fans in the chat. Woo!
Wow. Yeah, OG.
Yo. But yeah, we're leaning towards 5e. Final call hasn't been made, but stay tuned. Shady Sheep asking, after the Fool's Gold animated series is over, will we get another D&D series like with Cooper and the Toucan Man? Stay tuned for that.
Really, Toucan Man.
The Toucan Man.
You know,
Toucan Man.
the Toucan Man. Just, you know what? Either subscribe to YouTube or follow Dingo on Twitter. You'll see when that moment comes. Emotional Hugs is asking, since Felix likes Monster Hunter as Gothi stated, do you ever have any interest in running a Monster Hunter campaign? And then Shadow Reaper also asked, speaking of Monster Hunter, are you looking forward to the integration of Helianas and how is that progressing? That's progressing nicely, of course. When I talked to Jess working on Helianas about this, he was just super excited, and the rest of his team as well. So, we all love Monster Hunter, right? Like, the whole Helianas team loves Monster Hunter. Everybody on this end loves Monster Hunter, so... Oh, excuse me, I was about to burp there. So it's a match made in heaven. It's gonna go really well. It works really well with Fool's Gold, because it's all about survival in a tough-ass jungle. And, gonna be great. The content for that will likely be in a separate little booklet. I mean, that's still kind of being figured out. Yeah, you can definitely hunt in the jungle and make some really epic monster gear from it. Then we've got a question from that boy. Dingo, if you were to make a cartoon, what would be the premise? Well, I guess it would be D&D, huh?
Yeah, it'd probably be D&D, but you know, it's kind of like keep your eyes open. Who knows? One day I might get that. So right now I'm not saying premises because I might do something, but most likely it'd be based off of a campaign.
Yeah.
Next question.
Last
Poor
question.
Cammy's falling asleep.
Here. I know. Oh, we're doing this for you, Cammy. Butter.
We love you. You've done so well.
I'll go. Butter. Oh god, Buttermations? Buttermations is asking, what inspired the giant mechanical dragon? The world needs to know, Felix.
Giant mechanical dragons? I mean...
I like dragons. I like dragons a lot. And then I was thinking about this world of Fool's Gold, which is in the world of Ambria, where dragons kind of rule over regions. They kind of sit above kings and emperors and that kind of thing. And I had to think about foreclaimers, right? They would be threatened by that. Because a dragon might come in and be like, yo, you're working for me now. And the foreclaimers wouldn't be down with that. So the foreclaimers were like, we got to build something for that. So they built the mech dragon. And that was kind of how I got to that idea. But I mean, for inspiration, just raw inspiration, it was just... I think I just got the idea and then I wanted it to happen really badly, so I made it. Like, I can't really think of a specific moment that got me that idea.
Just a very on-brand Felix thing to do.
I love big, epic things, right? And I was just like, what if I make the biggest dragon, right? Like one of its claws is like the size of a house, right? And then I did it. That's like... Cool. That's how I make things. I just get excited by an idea, and I make them. And this fit perfectly into Foreclaimer lore, because they needed a super weapon. And it's like, here is the super weapon. Here you go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last one
I had in my queue. Is there anything else we want to announce while we're here?
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Cammy.
Thank you, Cammy.
Please go sleep.
Yeah, thank you.
You've done such an amazing job, and next time we'll try to see if we can find more people to help you out. Or if, you know, because this is still a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Second thing is we have another stream that will be coming up. It will be the last hour of the Kickstarter, which is the November 18th at, I do believe it is 11 o'clock PST time.
Mhm.
Can you confirm that with me, Felix?
I believe so, but we'll post about that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's 11 o'clock PST time. We're gonna have some Hit Point Press people here. Gothi's gonna be here. We're all just gonna be chatting and chilling. I'm probably gonna be drawing, and it'll be kind of like the final countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Will
then
you Q&A?
well, we'll probably do a Q&A, but a lot of it's gonna be thank yous.
Right.
Because it's only an hour, and most
Yeah.
likely what we're gonna be doing, I think I suggested what we should be doing is going through the stretch goals
Mm-hmm.
that we have accomplished and kind of expand on it a bit.
Good idea.
And talk about it. So that's kind of our plan. I'll be posting all about it. You guys will get updated. I'm going to be doing, a countdown scheduled preview thingy, probably 24 hours before it happens. So, or maybe a couple hours. I don't know. I don't know what's the best for that algorithm, but whatever. Anyway, so that's pretty much what we got going on. There are going to be some more announcements in that stream. So, maybe just pop by or something, but I always post in my community tab, so you guys are never going to be uninformed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you
Thank
to
you
all
everyone
those...
for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you to all those who have pledged or even have just spread the word. It means the world to us, and even like getting a chance here to talk to everybody and answer your questions is really nice.
Mhm.
And it's nice that everybody's so chill. Like, I honestly, we show off the fact like we have the best fans. We brag about that fact.
Yeah,
Seriously,
I do.
we do. And
Yeah, I do.
you guys are all amazing.
And thank you, Gothi, for drawing.
Oh,
And coming
thank you
on.
for,
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
And hey, this is thanks to all you guys who pledged. I mean, now you made Fool's Gold 2 Sans a reality, and now we have Core on screen, the new character.
Yeah. Core, the big buff demon guy.
Yeah. But hey, I made you all a promise. I promised there would be time for potatoes. And the time is now. So if you want to post potatoes in chat, send your potatoes into chat for Gothi for drawing us awesome art today. And
The potatoes fuel her.
yeah, the
Thank you very
potatoes
much.
fuel her.
I will take them and eat nothing but potatoes for the next month.
Yeah, exactly. This is potato time.
Fill my cupboards.
All
Give me
right.
the potassium.
Yeah, and stay tuned for news. Like, make sure you check the YouTube community tab and follow Dingo on Twitter. Of course, you can also find Gothi on Twitter at Dynabees. You can find me on Twitter at Felix Ernich. And
Yeah.
let's go. Let's do this. The final 5 days of this journey.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night, everybody. Drown in potatoes. There's so many potatoes in chat, Gothi. I just want to say,
Kevin.
like, it's just solid potato wall.
Yes. Yes.
All right. We love you guys. Good night.
Bye. Bye.